So, who is fighter of the decade?
What's up, guys? This is Bruce. Good to see you. Happy New Year! Happy New Year, everyone. Thanks for watching my video. Okay, before that, let's go. Let's get to the video. So let's start with some boxing. So there are a few fighters that should be named. The fighter of the decade for 2010s: Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Money Mayweather, Canelo Alvarez, Andre Ward, and even Terence Crawford or Lomachenko. I think Lomachenko has done enough to be considered fighter of the decade as well. And also Andre Ward, he has big wins. Chad Dawson, Kovalev, Prime Kovalev, he won twice and he knocked out Kovalev. It was a TKO though. So, who really deserves this the Fighter of the Decade award for 2010s? Let's talk about Mayweather first. So Mayweather has done great things in the last decade, 2010 to 2019. He won a big bouts against Manny Pacquiao, being that with Canelo Alvarez, even though Canelo was still young at 23 years of age, and also McGregor. McGregor fight was not really a boxing fight. I can't include that in real fight because we know there was a 99% sure that Mayweather was gonna win, and he did that for money. We know that, right? So Mayweather had 9 fights or 10 fights, including McGregor fight. So I can say that he only fought for 6 years in this decade, from 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, only 15. So his last opponent was Andre Barto on September 2, September 12, 2015, after Manny Pacquiao fight. So that was the only legitimate boxing fight that Mayweather had. So I can't really consider Mayweather in this list for this prestigious award. So, and Canelo Alvarez or Andre Ward. Andre Ward has a big wins in the last decade. So he could really be a good candidate for this award. And Canelo Alvarez is a really good one for this decade fighter award. So he has big wins against Golovkin, 2 fights against Golovkin. The first one was draw, the second was split decision. But he deserved the win in the second fight, and knocking out Kovalev, also being that with Mayweather, even though he lost. That was a big fight that he had, and yeah. So Canelo Alvarez started boxing at professional boxing at 154, and he went up until 175 light heavyweight, from super welterweight, middleweight, super middleweight, and heavyweight. So that's amazing. That's incredible. That's fantastic. So Canelo Alvarez is a good candidate for a really good one for this decade. So I won't be opposed if Canelo Alvarez was named fighter of the decade for 2010s, because he deserves that. There's no really argument to be made against him. And so the last one, Manny Pacquiao. So we know that Manny Pacquiao is just more than a great fighter, and he started boxing at age 16, and he still fights at age 41 now. So he just celebrated his last birthday on December 17th. So he is 41 years old now. He's still a champ at 147. So let's talk about Manny Pacquiao's accomplishments in this decade. So he entered the decade as a champ. So he made history by becoming the only 8 division world champion in 2010 when he beat Margarito. So that's one big accomplishment that he had in this decade. So he entered the decade as a strong history maker in the entire history of boxing. And the second, he became he had the biggest fight against the Mayweather, the biggest fight in history, and that was a minor achievement, a minor consideration. And the third thing is he became the only champion to win titles, lineal titles in 5 different weight classes. So when he beat Timothy Bradley back in 2016 after Mayweather loss. So the third thing and the fourth thing, he became the oldest welterweight champion at age 40. The oldest welterweight champion. When he beat Keith Thurman. We know that he beat Keith Thurman in a fantastic, spectacular fashion. So if you consider his age, 40 years of age, going against such a dangerous, hard-hitting guy like Keith Thurman, the second, I would say the second, or if not one, the second best 147 pounder of the. So if you consider that Manny Pacquiao, the accomplishment of Manny Pacquiao is just insane, just insane. And the last, the fifth one, he became the only, let me repeat that, the only champion, the only guy to win a title, a world title in 4 different decades. 1990s, when he beat Saku back in 1998. And 2020s, we know that he beat lots of top guys and becoming also being named the fighter of the decade for 2000s. And 2010, we know I've just talked about his accomplishments. And he became the only world champion in 4 different decades. That's insane, right? So you gotta respect him, man. It's really sickening to me that he was excluded from this the list. It's sickening, and man, be grateful that such a guy like Manny Pacquiao is in this sport, praising this sport, and getting lots of people, millions of people in this sport to support this sport. When he leaves, I can tell that when Manny Pacquiao leaves the sport of boxing, millions of fans leave boxing. So man, be kind to him, show some respect while he is still around. It's one of a kind, man. It's a once in a lifetime phenomenon. Manny Pacquiao, Pac-Man Pacquiao. You gotta show him some respect that he deserves. So I would say the real fighter of the decade for 2010s should be Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. Because it's not about zero record, right? If you want to talk about zero record, there are tons of fighters that has retired and not being beaten. Not just Floyd Mayweather. So there's a Thai guy, he has 54 wins, no losses. So Mayweather only has 50, and there are lots of guys more than that, 60, and even more than 70, 80 victories, no losses. So this is not a battle for zero record, and this is not about money either. So if you want to include money, Mayweather. But it's not about money, right? It's a fighter, the fighter of the decade. Very important and prestigious award. So you shouldn't make a mistake there. You gotta show some respect for Manny Pacquiao. His accomplishments in this decade are too much to be excluded from this list. So I'm here to express that Manny Pacquiao is the real guy who should be named the fighter of the decade for 2010s. But just look at here. 1990s, 2000s, 2010s, and 2020s. Insane. Let's take a break and do some boxing. full-time senator, part-time boxer, and then also part-time basketball coach. So if everything considered, Manny Pacquiao is just amazing, and his accomplishments are way beyond our expectation. So I would say Manny Pacquiao. God bless Manny Pacquiao. God bless the Filipinos. God bless all the fans around the world. God bless all the boxing promoters, all the fans out there, all the fighters who go to great lengths to entertain the fans and to not let the fans down, and who everybody around this beautiful sport. This is brutal but beautiful. So I'm here to express myself as a fan, as a boxing fan, to voice for the truth, to break my silence and to voice for the truth that Manny Pacquiao should be named Fighter of the Decade for 2010s. God bless everyone.